Welcome, everybody, to the Real Marks of Long Island podcast. My name is Justin. Alongside me is Court. We do not have Ty. Ty is working. Court, how was your week? Let's talk about quickly your sports card addiction, wrestling addiction. How many Codys are we up to now?
We're up to like at least 10 or 11 Codys. Got my first Cody auto in. Got a Cody slab, graded 9 PSA. Bought a Cody family tree last night with Dusty for $10 on eBay. It's a problem. Whatnot is showing up way too much in my bank account, so need to calm it down. Go to Nashville next week with Ty and a couple of our family members and friends, and it's time to chill out on the Whatnot and the cards for, a couple weeks.
Is it though? Are you going to be on it tonight?
No. I need a break. I was very well behaved last night. I only spent like $30, and I was very proud of myself.
Hey, $30 is, money goes quickly on Whatnot. I've learned. I've been there. It's a dangerous game, especially when you're jumping into breaks. It's unfortunately the cheapest way to go about it if you're chasing one particular person, because you've gotten a box. It's over $300 for a hobby box. It's ridiculously overpriced. And unfortunately it really is like the only way. Someone spends a ton of money and then people buy back in, and you hope for the best.
Yeah. You just gotta, if you get someone that's charging crazy numbers for a certain superstar, I don't suggest it, because the polls are so crazy. Like, I paid us X amount for CM Punk, and I think he went through 2 cases, and I got 0 cards.
Crazy. Two master cases, and you got no Punk hits.
And you had, was that when you had Trips? No, that was different.
No, well, that was a different one, and I got zilch on Triple H. So.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like,
I'm just a walking donation. I understand going full into it. I'm hoping for someone, and I just know instantly nothing's going to pop up, and then the next break that guy's going to hit like crazy. It's been my luck in card breaks for the past 5-6 years, so I've learned my lesson. It is what it is. If we want to get sponsored, we can host some breaks. I'm down for that. Yeah. But me getting into anymore, it's just I got a baby and a wife.
Yeah. It's a problem.
I can't be spending the money like I used to. Before we get into wrestling, obviously I am repping Team USA. Charlie Conway, throwback Mighty Ducks jersey. We got Team USA versus Team Canada tonight for the championship. I am hyped. It should be a doozy. So sorry to any Canadian listeners right now, but let's go red, white, and blue. And I can't wait to watch this hockey game.
USA money line, baby. USA -1.5, possibly sprinkle.
Possible sprinkle on the money on the puck line.
On the puck
line. But let's get into it. We spoke about this man. We'll start with NXT. This man, Ricky Starks, formerly known as Ricky Starks, is officially signed to NXT. I know you're having that issue still with the CW and Optimum. You can't watch live. Yep. Were you able to watch the segment of him signing his contract?
Yeah, I loved it. I watched through clips, which whatever, it could be worse. I could have no access. So I love it. Everyone's a little annoyed with the name change. You know what, guys? It's something we just got to get used to. Whether it's guys going from WWE to AEW or vice versa, they're gonna do the name. They're gonna keep the name. So I think Ricky Saints is good. I liked his explanation behind it. I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, and so recently these wrestlers that have jumped over to WWE, they've kept their name. Jordan Grace is a prime example, but Ethan Page, another example. So like these are just two right off the top of my head. Ricky Starks, everyone was saying that his name's going to be absolutely crazy, ridiculous. And they waited until the last second to show Ricky Saints on the NXT contract. And you're right. When you said the explanation of the name, then I'm completely fine with it. Ricky Saints is going to take over NXT. I can't wait to see the tag match next Tuesday. It's going to be a blast watching him and Javon Evans bouncing around. But, like, he's from New Orleans. He loves the Saints. It flows. So I'm okay with the name. Like you said, I just can't wait to see what he can do. I know he threw some shade on Busted Open. He didn't mention names, but he said a veteran in the AEW locker room was a major reason why he pretty much disappeared. So the rumors and the speculation. I think the last time we saw him, he was in a segment with the Rated R superstar Cope, and they had some words for each other, and that was it. So, it's all speculation, but you think it was Adam Copeland that, went up to Tony Khan and said something about Ricky Starks and sayonara, you're on the bench?
I don't know. I was torn between two veterans there. Obviously, he had that interaction with Edge, and there was some heat there because of the way that I guess he went into business for himself, according to Edge. Sorry, Cope. And but if you're Adam Copeland, and the other name that I think had something to do with it possibly could be Chris Jericho. If you're these guys, you're supposed to be the veteran putting young guys up, propping them up, not pulling them down for your own egos. Like you see Christian, and he's doing, I haven't watched AEW. I don't even know if he's still doing what he's doing, but what he was doing, he's getting involved, and he's not putting his ego first. Besides character wise, you could tell that he's enjoying it. He's having fun. Come on, guys. You've been in the business 20 years plus. It's time to just relax, get your paycheck, let the guys do what they want to do. It's just, I hate the politics of it. It's always going to be there. It doesn't matter. We see it on every single level, year in and year out. So I'm happy for Ricky. Think he's going to thrive in NXT. Think he'll be on the main roster sooner rather than later. And I just can't wait to see what the future holds for everything. But yeah, I think it's between Cope and Jericho. That was my gut.
And at least he kept his first name in the whole process. Some guys, their names completely change, but he's still Ricky, so we can still call him Ricky, which that's just the natural. So the revolution's going to happen on television, and it's going to happen on Tuesday nights on NXT, and NXT just keeps we've spoken about it. It is, I know you can't watch it right now live, but my God, it's my favorite show to watch right now, because you truly don't know what's going to happen, especially with the opening segment. You have Obafemi, the NXT World Champion, coming out to confront that new group. I don't, off the top of my head, I can't think of their name, but they debuted at Vengeance Day. I right now, it's not coming to my head.
I don't remember it either, but I thought it had something to do with vengeance or retribution or.
No, retribution. We're not.
No, I know it's not retribution. I know it's not retribution. I know it's not retribution. Something in that landscape, but I can't remember.
It's not coming to the top of my head right now. But the lights go dark, and everyone thinks this group's coming out, and then TNA's Moose, the X Division champion, appears. Like, what the hell? You have fucking Moose and Obafemi in the ring staring at each other, saying that this was bound to happen. This has to happen. And now it's going to happen. So you have Moose and Obafemi, and now you're going to have later on in the show, you see Moose and Lexis King talking backstage. Now you're going to have Lexis King challenge Moose over on Impact for the X Division Championship. I know TNA has two recordings, two tapings at Full Sail, so there's gonna be a lot of bounce back and forth right there. But my God, Moose in NXT, unbelievable.
It's awesome. It's exactly what we wanted it to be. It's everyone molding in together in the right ways. And I love Lexis King going over to TNA. I think that's perfect. That's one of those I wasn't thinking about, but works perfectly. You get everyone gets a little piece of, if you're not being used on NXT the right way, or you want to get a little bit of a different, wrestling partner and different atmosphere, it's perfect. And the Full Sail tapings are going to be fire.
Yeah, I mean, and to speak like we've said, NXT has the strongest women's division around, and then you have Julia and Stephanie Vakir. Well, like we'll discuss the main event a little bit later, but NXT spotlights the women. They spotlight the women perfectly. I think there was three women's matches on the card last Tuesday night. Yeah, Carmen Petrovich defeat Jada Parker and Kalani Jordan to be the number one contender for the Women's North American Championship. So she's going to be going up against Stephanie Vakir. And then you had Sol Ruka and Zarya. That team is a little weird to me still. I know they're trying to force it and try to push it. Team's a little weird. They defeated Lash Legend and Chikara Jackson. And then you had the main event, which was it was the studs. It was the women of NXT. It was Stephanie Vakir, Julia, and Jordan Grace's first match in NXT as a WWE superstar against Fatal Influence. So, I mean, it's, it was unbelievable.
Yeah, dude, it's amazing. I harp on it every time, but I love the state of women's wrestling right now, especially NXT, especially, even across the board. Like even AEW, they do a lot of things wrong, and they are doing things wrong in the women's division as well. But just the depth and the talent level is just, you could throw anything together and it's gonna work, because these girls are fierce. It's like watching, all the guys come up who are now main eventers, like, and even the girls too, like Becky, Charlotte, Bailey, Sasha. It's all gonna, that we have so much future, and it's just really exciting, and I look forward to it every single time.
And then we'll switch gears real quick. I know you have to go. You have dinner, so once you leave, I'll talk about the results from Raw. And
yeah, my bad, bro.
We'll go into Elimination Chamber, but let's just discuss AEW Grand Slam Australia. And I don't want to be mean, but
I can be mean.
There were a few good matches. You started off hot. You had Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega versus Kyle Fletcher and Konosuke Takeshita. Great match, fantastic match. They always produce. If you have Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay in a match, it's going to produce. But I think Tony Khan had a major blunder. Obviously, there's the discussion about the ring size. They apparently, I don't know what the truth is behind it all. I know like people said that they didn't take into consideration how much shipping a ring would be to Australia, but then people said like that was never in the cards anyway. They were always planning to rent a ring or borrow a ring from an Australian indie promotion, but they did. That's what they did. They rented a ring from an Australian indie promotion. It was a smaller ring, and you could tell. You could definitely tell. Everyone looked a little off in the ring. Things looked a little misspoke, mishaps, people slowing down, running the ropes. But what was your takeaway? I'll, just give me your takeaways on Grand Slam, and then I guess I will go into the matches.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. I saw clips. I saw the ring size. I saw a couple clips of a tag match. I'm not sure which one, where the partners were standing on the ground. I don't know if that was just Twitter being Twitter or what, but I mean, there's not enough room to stand on the apron. That's really bad. Tony Khan, you have all this money. It's really that much to ship a ring, or you can't go, send a team out and, put something together and, finagle something. You rent the ring and make it look a little better somehow. I don't, it's stuff that shouldn't be happening in a company that large. I know there were a problem with people's tickets, where people bought tickets months and months in advance, and when they moved to a smaller venue, their seats were terrible, and people bought seats the day of, and they were sitting, ringside. It's just small things like that. You can't do it. You got to avoid it. You can't set the bar so high if you're not going to be able to to reach it, not even get close to it. So I just think it was, matches aside, because I did see clips and there were some bangers, and we say it every time. AEW has great talent. The talent is always going to be there. Even, if people jump back to WWE or vice versa, they're going to have talent. It's just, you can't put them in a ring. I saw a video of Kenny Omega getting all pissed off at the ring, just kind of like, what is happening? Like, you can't have it. It's so bad.
Yeah, it was promoted as a pay-per-view, or it was never that. And then they had to switch, like you said, they had to switch the arenas. They went from a tennis stadium to this local small place because of ticket sales, and then they didn't show it live, so everyone knew the results before it actually aired that night. It was just a complete blunder. But Court, I will let you go. You go and
I got a couple minutes. I can.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
I'll give you like a sign when I got to bounce, but I got a couple minutes.
All right. Later on in that show, I know we discussed that we wanted Harley Cameron to go over on Mercedes Moné. That didn't happen. Mercedes Moné is still holds like every title in the books. As much as over as Harley Cameron is, you could tell in the ring that she's just not quite there yet. Like, she has these certain gimmicks, obviously the ventriloquism, the singing, and all this stuff that is working for her. But when it comes to becoming a champion, the in-ring work still needs help. I don't know if it was the small ring that played a part in that, but it was definitely a messy match. It definitely wasn't my favorite. But we did have an Australian woman win a title, and it was Timeless Toni Storm winning back her women's AEW championship from Mariah May. That match I enjoyed the hell out of. I love Toni Storm. I think that character is just amazing. She gave like a little speech last night on Dynamite that I watched. Just perfection. Any thoughts on those two matches?
Yeah, Toni Storm, is it right that she's a 4-time AEW Women's Champion right now?
Yes, I believe 4 or 3. 3 or 4, yeah.
I saw 4 today, and I was like, and I started to do the math in my head, and I was like, oh wow, it really has been. She's awesome. I'm happy for her. Glad she's back doing, what she's best at. And I didn't watch the whole show, so I didn't see the whole match. But the clips that I saw were nasty in both those matches. And like you said with Mercedes and why am I blanking?
Harley Cameron.
Harley, yeah. Like, she definitely has the character, and it's really, it's there. But sometimes, like you said, maybe you're not ready for a championship. You're just not there in the ring physically. I think it'll come, but Mercedes got to drop some of those. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's like you run out of space.
For real. And just to touch up, we had Kazuchika Okada versus Buddy Matthews. Buddy Matthews gets hurt jumping into the ring, twists his ankle. He has a sprained ankle. Performed like hell on it. Okada, I still think Buddy Matthews should jump back over to WWE, go be with his wife, his fiance or wife now. I'm not sure.
Did they just get married?
They actually did just get married. So wife, Rhea Ripley.
Yeah. I think right after he hurt his ankle, or right.
Yeah. I think they're on their honeymoon, I believe.
Yeah.
But then, main event, Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli versus Jay White and Adam Copeland. The coolest moment of the night was the Australian crowd continuing to sing Alter Bridge, Metalingus, Adam Copeland's theme song. You could see he really got choked up. It was the coolest moment of the night, probably for me, at least. It's all over TikTok, all over social media. So if you haven't seen that, go check it out. But you have Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli going over on Jay White and Adam Copeland. So they're still a thing. The Death Riders are still a thing. They're live and well.
Yeah, that was a really cool moment with them singing Metalingus, and you could tell Edge, like you said, was very choked up, and it got to him. And we were talking about him earlier. I love Edge, Adam Copeland, Cope. It just do it for the wrestling. Do it for that. Do it for that reaction from the fans. Don't get involved in the bullshit. But yeah, as far as the Death Riders go, is that T-shirt real? Did you
Yo,
see
the
the
white one,
white?
white
Yeah.
tee. Yes, I believe so.
If you buy that T-shirt, I have no words. I got nothing for you. If you spend the money on that T-shirt, more power to you. I guess you have more money than me, but it's just the direction they're going to go in, and I don't want to harp on how much I can't stand AEW lately, so I feel bad. It's hard for me to get involved. Like I tried to watch Dynamite last night, it didn't work.
I hear you. But that'll be it for the AEW talk on this episode. So if you were coming for the AEW talk, stick around for some WWE talk. But if not, I understand. But let's jump into Monday Night Raw, because we had a pissed off Sami Zayn in the ring saying he's not cleared, but he wants a piece of Kevin Owens. And sure as shit, we're going to get Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, in a unsanctioned match. Now, I know we have 2 chamber matches. I know those are going to be the main priority of the show. You'll start off with a chamber, end with a chamber. But let me tell you now, Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens is going to steal the show. No doubt about it. No questions asked. I know for a fact Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, going to be the show stealer.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I love that segment between the two of them, and I love Adam Pearce coming out and being like, and then getting involved, saying you've known us before WWE, you know how deep this runs, you know what this means to us, or Sammy was saying that, I think, and just to have the two of them just go and beat the holy crap out of each other in Canada of all places is just going to be chef's kiss. Like you said, there's chamber matches. It's stacking up, to be a really loaded card, which usually once Rumble's over, EC can be hit or miss because you either know where WrestleMania is going to go or you don't. I think it's really stacking up. That match is going to be amazing. That they're just going to go nuts. I mean, you saw what Kevin did with Cody at the Rumble. Like, multiply that times 10 because this is his best butt. Like, they're brothers pretty much. They're just going to
not wait. It's going to be. I will put money on it. Like, it's going to be the show stealer, bar none, no questions asked. If I'm wrong, I will be stunned, and like it'll set up for something else. But those two in an unsanctioned match, they're going to beat the holy hell out of each other, and I cannot wait. Later on in the show, we had AJ Styles in-ring return finally against Dirty Dominic Mysterio. AJ Styles picks up the win. A lot of people spoke about that shirt catch that AJ Styles had, which was smooth as hell. That was fucking awesome. I don't know if it was obviously it can't be played because it was throwing his shirt, but the quickness of his hands, he has the cat-like reflexes still, and that's for damn sure. Teasing leading up to a Braun Breaker AJ Styles IC match. I don't know, but now you have the rumors running rampant that we might get first time ever at WrestleMania AJ Styles and Finn Balor, the two old leaders of the Bullet Club, or two of the old leaders of the Bullet Club.
Yeah, I think I texted in the group that I would love that. We've been saying that Finn needs a championship, AJ needs to do something meaningful coming back. I know that we've seen it. I know people are going to say, oh, we've seen it. We know, Bullet Club, whatever. Doesn't matter. You put those two guys in a ring, they're going to kill it, especially at a WrestleMania scale. And, AJ faced LA Knight last year and it was good. I was there and it was good. But he's just going to want to top, him and Finn are just going to go nuts if they do go in that direction. That shirt catch was amazing. I do want to see Braun and AJ, but I feel like it's a tease and we might see it later. I don't know how. I don't know. There's so many moving parts that in WrestleMania season that you can't even keep your story straight.
Yeah.
So I'm down for it. I'm down for Finn and AJ. They could wrestle for an hour and a half and I'd be fine with it.
Yeah, no, I mean, those are two guys that obviously veterans of the game, but still have a ton to prove. Move on. We have Dakota Kai versus Ivy Nile for the number one contendership for that women's IC title. And Dakota Kai takes it. So now we have a second chance. I know when the tournament was going on, I was a big fan of giving the title and giving the strap to Dakota Kai after all those injuries. And then she comes and gets a concussion. So these injuries just keep piling up on her. But she's being given another chance. I hope we finally see Dakota Kai defeat Lyra Valkyria for that title. But I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't know if they're going to make Lyra's title run that short, but it's going to be interesting nonetheless.
Yeah, I like that they're giving Dakota another shot. It really does suck with the injuries. You know, she was just coming back and then bang, concussion, like you said. I think I wanted to stay on Lyra for a little bit. Let her, hold it. Because this is the inaugural run. And you got to give it some depth. You can't have it just flip-flop, change hands like the 24/7 Hardcore Championship kind of thing. Let her hold on to it. Let her bring some prestige. Dakota Kai will get her go. I have no doubts in my mind. But, they're both great talents. See what happens.
You got that right. Just later, my wife is actually currently sick, so I have to also end this short. So let's just quickly run through Raw. Main event, Jey Uso gets mocked by Gunther, leading into an all-out brawl, leading into that WrestleMania main event. That's just going to be a continuous build up until Mania. I hope they can build this as high as they can because I know a lot of people are doubting it right now.
I really liked the promo work from Gunther. I really liked the, coming down, doing Jay's entrance through the crowd, and everyone, is really quick to shit on Gunther's promos and stuff. But I'm here for it, and I think I like the route they're going with it. Gunther doesn't want to face Jay; he thinks he's beneath him. I think the Heat train is steadfast into a world championship at WrestleMania. We've spoken about it. I'm cool with it. I'm liking where it is. The hatred, you could feel the hatred there, and that makes for a great story. So
then we had Penta defeat Pete Dunne. Anything with Penta has been great. And that match cooked. Then you have Roxanne Perez. We spoke about Roxanne Perez. I think she's going to win the Elimination Chamber. She qualifies for her spot after defeating Raquel Rodriguez on Monday Night Raw. So she will be in the chamber. And then we have Seth freaking Rollins defeating Finn Balor. He will also be in the Elimination Chamber. So now just looking forward to the chamber right now for the men. You have Damian Priest, Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, John Cena, CM Punk, and a spot yet to be claimed. On the women's side, you have Bayley, Naomi, you have Alexa Bliss, you have Liv Morgan, and you have Bianca Belair with a spot yet actually that spot was just claimed by Roxanne Perez. So these matches are looking and obviously Seth Rollins is in that other spot. So these matches are looking to be star-studded. I still think Roxanne Perez comes out on top for the women. And for the men, it's between Cena and Punk. So, I think we know which way we're going to lean. So we're going to lean on Cena. But what are your thoughts leading into Elimination Chamber Saturday, March 1st?
Yeah, it's loaded. I'm a little torn on the women's. I need some time to let that manifest in my brain. I'm going to do my prediction next week because I am going in like 4 different directions in my head. But for men's, I'm leading Cena. I think we're going to get Cena Cody, and I think Cody's going to win. I think Cena will win down the line. Yada, yada, yada. We've discussed this. It's going to be a banger of a show. I can't wait. We're going to get into it more next week, obviously, right before the show. And we'll do our predictions, I'm sure. And I like Roxanne Perez, though. Now, the more you say it, and the more I pull her cards out of random whatnot breaks, I need her to do well. So
you need the value to go up.
I need her value to go up. So no, but for real, like it's star-studded, and I can't wait. Excited.
Yeah. So look at that. We're going to wrap it up. We're both still here. Did not have to do anything solo. I have to go take care of my wife, and my baby is currently being watched by Mimi. So you, Court, you go enjoy dinner. We will reconvene next week. Thank you all for tuning into this short episode of The Real Marks of Long Island. Please be sure to follow, like, subscribe on all socials. We are enjoying the interactions that we're getting a little bit more on TikTok. So keep them coming. We are always going to respond to everything that we see. And until next time, Real Marks